Hello, today I went to a charity shop. I went to give away some items that were not serving me anymore. I believe it would be of good use to another family, so I do this from time to time. While I was in the shop doing that, about three ladies came in their 60s. They came in and they were giving some items away to the shopkeepers, the floor staff. And something caught my eyes because we were doing the same thing. I was bringing out my stuff from the bag and they were doing the same. So I paused for a minute and I was looking at them. So that one of them thought I wanted something. And she asked me if I wanted one of their items before they actually donated to the charity. I said, no, I didn't want anything from you. But something caught my eyes from these items you were donating. She said, oh, what was that? I said, this set of plates. So she went on to tell me they lost their mom, a 95-year-old lady, and they wanted to empty the house that the mom was living in so that they can put the house on the market for sales. And she asked if I wanted those plates. I said no, but it took me back to my childhood. It took me back to my 11-year-old as a girl living in Nigeria. And she said, oh, really? Yes. So in Nigeria, if you grew up in the 80s and the 90s, I grew up in Nigeria in the 90s, you have some cutleries and utensils that you don't use every day. They only come out on special occasions, like once in every blue moon, like you have meetings, birthdays in my family, or when you have family meetings, when my dad or my mom, they would have their extended families come for all these descendant unions, or you have church meetings, or Easter or Christmas. Those are the occasions where all these beautiful dishes, utensils, coolers, when they come out. And in those times, they call them, they're like china plate, royal Dulton. So my mom had them. So one day she was hosting the church ladies at our house, and we were meant to wash them and bring them out so that we can use them and take them back. We even had this aluminium tower frying pans. They are beautiful, that even till today they are really heavy. So mine was supposed to, because I was taller than my younger brother, so I was supposed to stack them and put them up on the cupboard. We call them cupboard, but I believe it shelves, your kitchen cabinet and all that. But because I was so much in a hurry, I wanted to go out and play. I carried like a stack of 10, and a 10-year-old with my slim frame, I carried everything. I wanted to put it up there, and boom, it fell off my hand and everything shattered into pieces. So my mom, from where she was, she had the shattering sounds of broken plates, and she ran and she came into the living room. What happened? And me, I was so afraid. I thought she was going to beat me up because what I did was wrong. And mind you, we live in a very big compound, and I know of 2-3 families that will beat up their children. If you lose your lunch money, you're in problem. If you break a plate, they will beat you up with the plate and use it to scratch your body. And if I don't lose my lunch money, I will lose my breakfast. I'm always losing my books or my hat. I was just careless. So I did the same thing. So I knew that I was in trouble. My mom rushed into the room, and I could see from her face that she was disappointed at the situation. And I was a bit shivery, like, I'm sorry. She said, I shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. Why did you do this? And she said I should get a broom and dustpan. And she didn't pounce on me like I was waiting. And I'm like, aren't you going to beat me? She said no. She would never beat me up for that. But she didn't find it funny that I broke her plates. That they were really, really precious to her. But I am more precious to her than those plates. And that she would never beat a child for breaking her plate or for losing stuff like that. That I am more precious to her. That word remained with me even till today. I'm a mother now, and that word is etched in my heart. That sometimes your children can do wrong. They are good children. In that situation, they did something naughty, but they're not really naughty children. They only behaved in a naughty way. And so when situation calls for us to discipline our children, we should thoroughly curate the matter, examine it, knowing fully whether your child is precious. They've done something wrong. And so she didn't beat me in that moment. And she said she believed that I'll grow up and do something more precious for her than these plates that I've broken. And that if she's beating me up because I've broken her precious plates, 10 years, 15 years down the line, these plates will be out of use. Nobody will want to use them again because there will be new batches, there will be new designs, and that I'll be out of the house. And she wouldn't want me to have that memory that she beat me up for her plate, and that I would do something good for her in the future. And that word stayed with me even till this very moment. So the moment I saw that plate in the shop, I'm like, oh my God. So it took me back to my mom and the words that she spoke into me that day. And now the plate was stacked up for £1. You can imagine if she had beaten me up and she did to me what all those people were doing to their children, I would live with that memory, I would live with that pain, and I would resent her. And I'd be like, just for £1, my mom did this to me. But then it was more than £1. It was really precious to her. But she valued the person that I am. She saw the woman that I would be even before I became that woman. And she said to me that I am going to do something more precious for her than our plates that are broken. And today I am so grateful for the words she spoke over me. I'm so grateful that she saw past how careless I was in the minute. In that moment, she saw the lady that I will become in the future and the things that I would do for her beyond the plates that are broken. And so that really moved me, and I thought I'm going to speak to a parent today. In the moment of anger, because children can push your limit, they can push you past your limit, but hold it in because they are more precious than that moment. The king in them will come out, the queen in them will come out in the future. So we don't deal with them based off the offense that they commit in that moment and live a lifetime of hurt in their heart, because you can't relive that moment anymore. You can't get it. But whatever you do in that moment, will stay with them for the rest of their lives. This morning, I almost wanted to buy that pack of plates and take it back to Nigeria and give it to my mom, that this is your plate that I'd broken. I'm giving them back to you. But then again, I remember I was forgiven in that moment in time. She forgave me and she didn't care how much it was. And the same thing that God did for us. When Adam sinned, he didn't look at us through the basis of the sin that Adam committed. He saw the person that we can become in Jesus Christ. And so that is why he died before we even came to salvation. He didn't wait for us to come to salvation before Jesus would die. God gave us the gift of Jesus because he saw that in you, there is a man after his heart. There is a woman after his heart. He loved us. He gave his life without our input. Before we can ever love him, he has given us love. And so I wanted to come from the spiritual angle of things, the way God loves us, because the way he had seen us before we became the person that he wanted us to be. And the same as a parent, that even though your child has lost their heart, they've lost their sock, they've lost their book, we're going to replace it because we know there's a king in them, there is a queen in them, and they're going to become mighty in the land and the city, and they would come back and they will become better people, and they will remember us for the kindness that we have shown them, even when we're supposed, to be angry with them. Mind you, I am not saying that we shouldn't discipline our children. I am not saying that we shouldn't invest in them values that they need for their lives. I wouldn't be doing that. I wouldn't say that. But sometimes one can be so harsh, one can be so brutal in that moment of anger that you forget that this is what the child has done is not up to, the judgment that you're dishing out on them. And the way we handle them in vulnerable moments would stay with them for the rest of their lives. So I saw God's love. I remember my mom, and I appreciate her, and I salute her that she loves me, and she spoke those words of affirmation over me that I'm precious to her than anything that she could ever own, and that she believed that one day I would buy for her more precious things than the plates that I'd broken. And by the grace of God, we're on the road to doing that. So I just thought I would encourage someone, don't be too hard on your children. And I have this adage that a tribe of people, they do that. Say, for instance, their child do wrong out there, and a lot of people are against them. They will stick up together, father, mother, cousins, aunties, shoulder to shoulder, and they will protect that person who is their own. They might apologize to the outsiders who are chasing their family member. They would apologize, but when they get in, they would discipline that family member. But they will stick up for them outside, but discipline them inside, such that that family member will never behave in that way again. So I want you to protect your children, love them, love on them, discipline them, but be kind to them as well in situations where they will feel judged, but you overlook them. You overlook what they've done and you don't judge them, and instead of judgment, you show them grace. And in the future, they would remember that mom and dad showed me grace, and it can help them in their journey of life in a long, long way than you can ever think or imagine. So thank you, my mother, for not beating me up over your broken plate. I saw that plate today. I wish I could hand them to you. Yeah, so life is more precious than plates. Thank you.